Shopping with TDC just got much easier. Here's how. Log on to shoptdcgroup.com. Shop at your convenience at any time, from anywhere, with your smartphone, tablet, or computer. With our safe and secure payment checkout, you choose the option to pick up in-store or have your goods delivered right to your door. It's that easy. Shop tdcgroup.com, your one-stop online store.
Shop anywhere, shop anytime, same quality you love. Now online. Shop
www.shoptdcgroup.com.
Buster, pour it up, need the thirst quencher in my cup. If you have one, hold it up and say, Buster put the colors in my life. Refreshing and nice, and I drink that what we like. Buster, you're full of vibes, living full color, and a black and white. We do what we like, we live to enjoy life. Buster, pour it up, different flavor. Load it up, if you have one, hold it up and say, Buster put the colors in my life.
Decided what to eat yet, hon?
Yep, almost.
If only this was easy like when we switched to Flow.
Best decision ever. Combining our mobile with Flow Internet
Saving hundreds each month on our mobile.
and getting double data to share for up to 4 lines. My ideas are the best.
Any idea when you'll make this decision?
Yeah, soon. Switch to Flow Postpaid and sign up for internet for big mobile savings and double data as low as $80 per line. Visit discoverflow.co for details. Conditions apply.
Good morning and welcome to Voices here on WINNMedia 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining us on today's edition of Voices. Today is Wednesday, March 9, 2022. It's 8 minutes past the hour of 11 here in the studios of WINNMedia 98.9, and you're listening to Voices. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining. Of course, for those of you who wish to participate in today's program, you can call us at 466-0989 or 762-0989. We're also live on Facebook at WINNMedia SKN and YouTube. You can also check out our Instagram and Twitter accounts. And the WhatsApp number is 662-2204. That is 662-2204. The overseas numbers are, for the UK, you can call us at 033 344 0065. If you are in the USA, call us at 718-285-6984. If you are in Canada, call us at 305-921-4619. This is Voices, and I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining. Let me start by saying a special good morning to Rudolph Claxton and Eugene Weeks up in Hamilton Village, Nevis. Thank you so much for tuning in to Voices every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. These are two people who listen every time the program is aired. Thank you so much for listening and your contribution now and then in this program. Let me say also a happy International Women's Day. I'm late. It was yesterday, sorry. But happy International Women's Day to all the strong women out there in our society, those who play a very pivotal role in our economic growth and our social development, and, you know, women on the front line in terms of healthcare, women in the police force, women in education, women in sports, women in media. Thank you so much for the work that you have been doing and continue to do. And you are, some see you as just women, but you are a pillar in our community. You're a pillar in our society, and we thank you. Yesterday was the day to recognize you and to recognize the work that you continue to do. But I think every day we should appreciate and celebrate our women and thank them and recognize them for the contribution that they make in different areas. When you look at areas such as education and health, the women dominate these fields, and we ought to recognize them and thank them for their contribution. When you look at like areas such as the STEM, while it is, you know, engineering, while it is mainly dominated by males, you do find some women who work in that area. So we thank you for your hard work, your contribution, and we appreciate you. We truly appreciate you. We had the Singis National Youth Parliament Association. They too used the opportunity to recognize two of their former presidents, that is Miss Jacqueline Bryan and Miss Patrice Harris, in the area of media and communication. And of course, we had on the island of Nevis the International Women's Day Award ceremony, where the Ministry of Health and Gender Affairs in the Nevis Island Administration, they too recognized a number of women and thanked them, recognized them for their contribution to nation building. But of course, we'll have more in the headline news for today. So happy International Women's Day, or happy International Women's Month, to all the strong women out there who continue to make a significant contribution to the development of St. Kitts and Nevis. For the first 15 minutes to half an hour, we'll be taking your calls, and I want you to, you know, chime in the discussion. Use your opportunity to say thank you to the hard-working women out there, whether it be your mother, your sister, your maybe a niece of yours, you know. Say thank you to the women out there, those who, you know, on the front line, making sure that we are safe here, and those who work genuinely and those who work hard. So I'll be opening the phone lines very shortly, and I want you to call and, you know, say thank you to the women for the work that they have been doing and continue to do, and for the role that they play in St. Kitts and Nevis's growth and development. The phone lines are open. Please call us at 4660989 and 7620989. Let's head to the phone lines. We'll take our first call for this morning. Caller, good morning. You are on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Cornelius, and how are you?
Good morning. I'm great, thanks. What about you?
I want to say happy belated Women's Day to all of the lovely women in this country. We got to remember, you know, the nurses, some of the women who are doctors, some of the women who take care of the home.
Wait, hold on. I'm getting some feedback in the background.
Turn on the radio.
Yeah, turn on the radio a little bit.
Give me a minute.
Sure.
Yeah, you can hear me. Hello?
Yes, go ahead. I can hear you now.
Yeah, so I want to say, yeah, big up to all the ladies. But in all of this, Mr. Cornelius, you have some ladies, hard-working ladies in this country who worked hard last year during the pandemic, all around the Federation, and lost their job. Nobody remember them. Everybody was talking about the vaccine last year. Donnie Rollins, 33 years.
Okay, I think they call a drop. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Please call us back at 466-0989, 762-0989. We just lost that caller. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls here on Voices on WINNFM 98.9. Today is Wednesday, March 9, 2022. Yesterday was International Women's Day, and we're using this opportunity to say thank you to the women for their contribution, and we recognize them for their hard work, those on the front line, those who we don't see. Those who we don't see, but we know that they are hard at work doing their part. So I'm giving you, the callers, the listeners of 1FM 98.9, to call in and recognize that woman in your life and thank them for all that they have been doing for you. Call us at 466-0989, 762-0989. Of course, the overseas line at 033-344-0065. As for the UK, if you are in the USA, call us at 718-285-6984. And if you are in Canada, call us at 305-921-4619. It is 16 minutes past the hour, and we are still taking your calls. But we are now for an ad break. So we'll take a break to give a shout out to the sponsors for this program. And when we come back, we expect to hear from you, the good listeners, congratulating and thanking, recognizing the women on the occasion of International Women's Month. Because yesterday was International Women's Day. Let's take this break. And when we come back, we'll continue Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. Stick and stay.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley got it all about the flavor. Shirley never let me down. When I lime it at the beach on the town, Shirley biscuits always feel like home.
Everything you want, everything you need, got the taste you love, anywhere that you may be, is the Caribbean flavor. Shirley biscuits make me happy.
Shirley, the Caribbean's favorite biscuit.
Decided what to eat yet, hon?
Yep, almost.
If only this was easy like when we switched to Flow.
Best decision ever. Combining our mobile with Flow Internet
Saving hundreds each month on our mobile.
and getting double data to share for up to 4 lines. My ideas are the best.
Any idea when you'll make this decision?
Yeah, soon. Switch to Flow Postpaid and sign up for internet for big mobile savings and double data as low as $80 per line. Visit discoverflow.co for details. Conditions apply.
TDC Financial Services. We're here for you to help you make your dreams come true. Whether your needs are big or small, we'll support you with them all. TDC Financial Services. We are strong. TDC Financial Services. This is where you belong.
TDC Financial Services, where money is made easy.
And we're back with Voices here on WINNFM 98.9. It is 18 minutes past the hour of 11 here in our studios, and you're tuned into WINNFM 98.9 for another edition of Voices. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining us today. Of course, the phone lines are open and we are taking your calls. We are recognizing and highlighting the women in our lives. Yesterday was International Women's Day, and of course, we heard through the airwaves and we saw on social media, we heard on social media different groups and organizations and the different ministries of health and gender affairs, St. Kitts and Nevis, and across the region, the world, that is, recognizing the contribution of women. We're heading back to the phone lines and we're taking your calls. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Devon. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm giving thanks for life. What about you?
Man, are you giving God thanks for life, for health, for strength, for longevity? Let me first start by sending birthday greetings out to my seventh granddaughter, Zoe Jules of St. Paul's, who's making 7 today. I have 7 granddaughters, all granddaughters. And I want to live to see all of them make a positive contribution to the development of their race and of their country. That is my prayer,
Yes.
I don't want them just come big and just pass through.
That's true. Do something
Some
with
of
their
us only
life.
passing through. No, somebody must be able to say, I am glad that Zoe was alive, Sylvie, something. So I want to commend all of the women who are trying to make a positive contribution to the world. You may be in a different country, but whatever you're doing, you don't have to be a politician to make a positive contribution.
That is so true.
Because sometimes we rank people from politicians come down.
Well,
but it's the other way up.
Yeah. It's sometimes it is the smallest thing that you do that would make a huge difference or contribution.
Look, just making somebody's child or some old person life better qualify you.
Right.
Especially those who are concerned about women's issues. Because there are issues like poverty, child care, child rearing, domestic abuse, education. All of these are women's issues.
Right. I thought the theme chosen for this year's celebration, Break the Bias, is quite fitting. And what are your thoughts on that?
Of course. Because, culture and experience has put men at the top. And in many cultures, not all of them, women are discriminated against. I don't mean just looked down upon. It could be in your job, the bias. The bias is that if you think that the man alone should be at the head, right away you have created a bias, because no matter how well a female performs, no matter how qualified she is, then it will go no further.
What do you think the biggest bias is right now for women?
Women, we're saying it, Caribbean, remember all women.
Well, of course,
the culture usually depicted.
We're starting at home, St. Kitts and Nevis, and we take it at large.
Let me start with St. Kitts. The bias, to me, is that it is expected that women raise the children, often without the help of the male. You seem accepted. She has the children. Have you ever thought about it?
Yeah, I
you make excuses. So men don't want to establish, not all men, men don't want to establish stable family homes, and we accept it. So it is the woman's job to struggle. You hear them, she did a wonderful job raising the children by herself. So what happened to the fathers? Excuse, and if a woman ever act like a man, she's dragged to the dirt. And in terms of education, still back to education. Some people seem to have the impression that women only supposed to cook, clean, and get children. It still happens today, You hear a woman has a career in a non-traditional field, and you want to know what happened to her. She ain't got no child home to mind. She ain't got no husband to look after. It is discouraging. We have many female lawyers, but how many are judges? How many? We have a lot
Few.
of female doctors. How many of them are able to run an office? Because there's a bias. Women go to male doctors all the time, take off all their clothes, both male and female. And you would hear a man say, me ain't going to the woman doctor. They only go if they have to. You know, so it kind of discount the woman's education. You ever think about that?
I have, it continues to be an issue for
That's a
women.
bias.
Where,
And, you know, even some of them go and do dentistry and they go and do engineering. And people want to know what happened to her. You know, I mean, I was a statistician for years, right? A male-dominated field because it is mathematics and statistics. And more than once, I go and people looking to see who is the statistician. Excuse me. So when they come into the office, they want to see Mr. Cornelius. And it continues. You have female, we now have female managers in some private sector businesses and so. And when people ask the manager, they're looking for the man.
it's part of the
You know, if you go
culture,
up
how we think, how we operate.
Yeah, you know, so women are not given the full credit. And even in education, take education, for example. Now, if you were a female and you said, I want to go and study, all right, you're going to do your first degree, you come back. And you say, I want to do my master's. And when you want that, why you don't go look at a husband? A husband is valued above education, you know. And women who are not married. I mean, the things people say, what happened to her? Why the man ain't want her? You know, them kind of remarks. And you have a lot of bachelors walking around here happy. Happy, nobody pushing them, nobody even suggesting to them that they go and get married. Now, in some countries, which you know, Muslim, even all across Africa, women, I mean, the education of a female is considered a luxury. You know, Afghanistan, even in Nigeria, where you got all of these Muslim groups, kidnapping whole school, going with all the girls, impregnate them. We have in Afghanistan now women, when they were under the U.S. occupation, women were lawyers, doctors. They had all kind of occupation careers then.
Right.
Well, they were pledging, now that they turned back over to the Taliban, they said, well, we're gonna treat the women differently. We are there now. First thing they said that they have to get out of the jobs. The job that some of them would have held for years, you know.
All right.
The universities and so. You know, women are afraid for their life. And even in your career, take journalists. How are female journalists treated? After with disregard. She asks a question, she gets a personal answer. You know? I mean, you see it all on television.
Right.
They insult them. You know, they make remarks about their personal being.
Yeah, the personal.
You know, but I want to encourage our women to push ahead. Educate yourself.
We
Don't
even
be
see it
content
in...
to just washing, cooking, and cleaning.
Yeah.
There's more to life because nobody raising a son to wash, cook, and no clean.
You know, as you said that, you know, women in journalism and media, if you look at women in politics too, they would be quick to bring up the history of a woman.
That's what I'm telling you.
You know,
and
so...
the truth is, you know, the personal history of a woman is like a Sankey song compared to what the men. In fact, men that boast, I heard one used to boast, is a ram goat on the platform, right? Yeah, and the prowess man, how much woman, you hear them? Oh, he got a lot of women, see? And you know, and their behavior, some of them adulterous. But the woman only have to look so. And if you're not married, then you're lesbian. You know what I kind of mean? But how many of our politicians are married? How many of our male? I mean, look all across Nevis. When is Hazel Brandy going to run? People think that where she is where she belongs, You know that?
As a junior minister?
Yes. You have it in all of them. And when the female show any aspirations, she's seen as a threat. Why you think for years we have signed on to the UN Convention? See that, right? The Convention of all form of elimination, of all form of discrimination against women.
Yes.
Where the theme is 50-50, right? They're saying that at least half of the leadership, the political leadership, should be women. All right. I think in our countries we ask for 30. 30, But what do we have? Women senators. Why couldn't they be put on the platform to become ministers? We have one female minister in the federal house.
Yeah.
One.
Well, yeah, because Phipps is a senator. Elected.
Elected.
Yes, that's true.
So the female numbers always exceed. And then what the senators' numbers? And then they easily, I recall years ago, the Labour Party had two female senators. It was Ann Wrigley and Marcella. And lo and behold, they wanted to bring males in, They made Marcella the speaker, and they put Miss Wrigley somewhere else. You know what I'm talking about? So women like to take it so. In all the political parties, I don't care which one. How many in all the parties? That's a bias, and we are biased against them too.
Mm-hmm.
You think she's a man, Well, I'm sorry for the NRP now. With so many women, Lord have mercy. You have to ask yourself, what are their chances like at being elected with so many females in the same party? Is it the same as what any party faces with, say, 90% of the people as male? What exactly? Because you're now observing. What biases you see them facing? Have you thought about it?
Well, I think many people have thought about it, in the sense that I think that is part of the biggest challenge in terms of the bias, where people, when you think of politics, you think of men, and you think that it should be dominated by men. You're seeing a change now where women are stepping forward to say, hey, I want to not just be a senator or just be a party supporter, but I want to be an elected representative. So it is not so much so that, well, yes, you have them stepping forward, but it is us supporting them and other women.
And accepting them.
And supporting them, accepting them, and, see where it goes from there.
I'm willing to go to the polls for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because the others have tried. I was asking somebody the other day. There was a big huff and puff when they were having the election for the leadership of the Labour Party, right?
Mm-hmm.
Honorable Marcelo, as you know, was the deputy lead of the party. You remember that?
Yes.
Since that election or conference, you have heard nothing from her about her. In fact, the person who was then running for the deputy announced that she was going to be the candidate in the next election. Tell me which male candidate would have stand for that.
But if I may say this though, is it that we are expecting that she should have run for leadership? If that is the case, I'm not so sure.
No. What I am saying that an announcement should have been made as to her position.
Well, I agree
You know
with
what I
that. I agree with that. But
Party has not said anything, you know.
right, but from the outside looking in, I think it is safe for us to say that Marcella Leibert has decided to take a back seat. Yes, she's a woman, but in the sense that she was the MP for number 2 from 2010 to 2020. So for her to step forward to be leader or deputy leader again, some of us would want to say, well, it is time for her to go. So
Here goes the bias. Now, most of the parties, if you check back the party's history, nobody raised those questions about the male deputy, you know. Sam Conda was the deputy from 1995 until 2012, or whenever when he came out, push out or throw out. You understand? You go to the other party. His name, Michael Powell, was the deputy until he was thrown out. People expect, well, you're the deputy. What I am saying, that a statement, because she didn't voluntarily come out, when the issue about replacing the leadership in the unit.
Well, how you know she didn't voluntarily come out?
Well, I'm talking. Just listen to me, right? The statement was put out by the proponent of the change that Douglas and Marcella must step down, right? That is what they went in with. He has to go and she has to go.
So do you support that? Do you think Marcella should take a backseat completely? Whether a statement is there or not?
She should have made her position clear.
Right,
Just
but...
like Dr. Douglas said, look...
Right, understanding that. But do you think...
He said nothing.
Right, I understand that. And I agree with you.
Make it easier for her to be replaced.
But I'm asking you now, do you think that she should take a backseat completely? Considering that she would have lost... Not lost, but considering that she lost the election?
She didn't lose it, it was taken from her.
The seat was taken from her?
Yeah, she did not say, well, I am stepping down or stepping out.
You're confusing yourself.
No, man. Listen to me carefully because you will understand. She never said a word as, comrades, from this year, I intend to relinquish my position because, you know.
Right. So listen to me now.
No statement had been made.
Right.
I'm not judging her, you know.
Right, but what I'm trying to ask you...
The way we react, there's one big hullabaloo of the former leader stepping down.
Okay, so let me ask you this now.
Nobody saying anything about the woman.
Carla, let me ask you this now. I understand that, and I agree. So I'm asking you now, do you think that Marcella Leibert should take a backseat from politics, from the Labour Party completely? We understand that the statement wasn't made, so we've jumped past that. We're now at this stage where I'm asking you the question, do you think that, regardless of whether she's a woman or not, do you think that she should take a backseat from the party completely?
I wouldn't say that. I would never say that.
Do you support her to become deputy leader again?
I don't vote for Labour, so I can support her.
No. You don't have to vote for her. But do you support Marcella Leibert being the deputy leader of the Labour Party again?
That supposition is now of no use because they have already chosen the deputy leaders.
But do you support her if she was to come back?
Yes, because I want one out of the deputy I want out.
Okay, we have to take some
more.
more...
I'm saying, but seriously, put our joke aside.
Yes.
Is there any female in the present lineup of candidates?
For the Labour Party? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. We have to take some calls, so we'll take this break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation.
I want to commend all the females and those of you who are not pulling your weight and doing your best. Remember, the future of the country belongs to you. Do your best.
All right. Thank you so much.
It will be a better saying it's because of the women, because it is us who brought it this far with the help and the grace of God. All right, then.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution. We'll take this break, and when we come back, we'll continue in Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. It is 11:39. We have some time left before we take a break for the headline news. Let's take this break, and we will be right back.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
Decided what to eat yet, hon?
Yep, almost.
If only this was easy like when we switched to Flow.
Best decision ever. Combining our mobile with Flow Internet
Saving hundreds each month on our mobile.
and getting double data to share for up to 4 lines. My ideas are the best.
Any idea when you'll make this decision?
Yeah, soon. Switch to Flow Postpaid and sign up for internet for big mobile savings and double data as low as $80 per line. Visit discoverflow.co for details. Conditions apply.
Enjoy the convenience of getting all your documents in one place. At the TDC Copy and Print Center on 4th Street in Basse-Terre, we do just that. We offer document formatting, graphic design, and copy and print services. Our team of professionals truly understand all your needs, whether it be administrative, professional, academic, or personal. You bring it, we deliver it with quality every time. Visit the TDC Copy and Print Center today in the TDC Mall on 4th Street in Basse-Terre or call 465-2511. Your copy and print specialists are waiting to serve you.
Welcome back to Voices. We're heading straight back to the phone lines. Let's take this call. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Please call us back at 466-0989 and 762-0989. We're taking your calls here on WINNFM 98.9. Let's head back to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Cornelius.
Good morning. How you doing?
My brother can't tell you how to run the show, but Sylvie must be honest. Stop talking so long and so dishonest and wicked. And call us all the time. Was she focusing on labor? You ask her some questions she can't answer. Nevis got in a bunch of women, and you hear what she tell you? But NRP women, them, how much women in CCM? The lady is wicked, and we must get it started. She realized that you're weak and you ain't too much in familiar because you're young. She's taking advantage of you. What are you going to teach you what's going on, my brother? Don't let Sylvian follow you up with your wickedness. Let Sylvian tell the nation why Michael Powell was shot in this country. And now he's on the government making big money. Powell almost 70, getting pension, getting everything. Up to now, almost 30 years later before you're born. Sylvian Henry cannot come to tell this country. I asked Kennedy Alphonse Simmons, our first national hero, why he threw Michael Powell out of government. You ask him about Marcella and hear what she's telling you? You have no affiliation with Labour, but you want this is how much woman. Well, let's start with woman, my brother. Wendy Phipps is the liest woman in this country to date because she said lied to all you that no money there for people, but still say the 2 Rams lady money there for them. When they go up to the Labour Department, the Labour Department tell the 2 young ladies, no money there for them. But Sylvian coming talking about women there. But there's women, Sylvian, they got children, they're married. Where's the money from Wendy Phipps, who in charge in this country? She lied to her teeth because all you got the clip. All you got everything what Wendy Phipps said and what the 2 girls say about Wendy Phipps. Like a star, Barney Rollins worked 30-something years. Sylvian come on yesterday with his foolishness talking about, oh, if you take this, who's supposed to tell people what to take in the body? Can the government tell Sylvian what to take, or who buys to take, or who buys to don't take? Why these people so cruel and coming on the radio talking about today, about women? Sylvian is a wicked woman, and we must understand that. Why she don't call Ike Show anymore, my brother? Listen to Sylvian this morning. As a woman, let's talk about woman. Marcella Leibert, Sylvie said she was pretending to be a woman. These are the facts. Marcella Leibert is Ann Leibert's mother. Pardon, you're young. The Democrat was Sylvie used to read every Saturday. Used to having the most nastiest thing about Ann Leibert and Juni Leibert's mother. She used to read the Democrat every day, religiously every Saturday. She never once condemned what the Democrat was saying about the lady. One of the most best women around the region. Got all the accolades around the region as a woman. Sylvie never once call in and big up the woman. But come yesterday telling she lied that she used to sit down with Al. When if you used to sit down with unlabeled Sylvine, how come you never defend unlabeled? How come you never call in and call out the wrong and the unjust what used to be needed out on unlabeled? Sylvine must be constant. Be consistent. Stop being so one-sided. Stop being so biased. Because as an elder lady, you want people to look up to you, but you can't look up to people who is loyal, wicked, and bad in this country. They are bad. Sylvine is bad news for young people, bad for young women in this country, my brother. Let Sylvine tell you why the People's Action Movement lock up the Labour Board, what unlabeled used to write on. They take down a board from masses out and lock it up. Let she tell you about that. Sylvine needs to stop and be honest. Respect people. The ladies do not want to take the vaccine. If I do not want to take the vaccine, that is our right. My brother, can the government tell Sylvine what to do? Sylvine was married for years. Can the government as Douglas could tell Sylvine who boyfriend to have and who that boyfriend to don't have, my brother? Oh, you can tell me I can't respect. You say respect people, but you cannot respect all these ladies and the fellas who they say they do not want to take a vaccine. What is the outcome of the vaccine today, my brother? I caught this cooker and take the vaccine. I had the COVID. I'm fully vaxxed. Basically, they say no. But she come every day and defending a bunch of stupidness, but yet she wants to talk about women. Man, women have served and stop go after Labour. Labour women have nothing to do with you. Talk about how much women in your party, how much women in PAM. Talk about how much women partner want to serve for me. Because you're a reporter, I want you to find out for the past 7 years how many women was fired on the PAM, CCM, and Timothy Harris government. Tell me how much women in this country was fired based on what went on and Timothy got a bunch of them. Rams got a bunch of them. 7 years under this present government when Sylvine talking about women. The lady is wicked, she's cruel, she's bad for the country. We must be honest with this lady. She's not a Christian. Them they're evil. They must start the truth. Have some passion for people. People have feelings. Sylvine was a woman who was 33 years for TDC. The woman married. She got kids.
All right, caller.
Come on, that woman in this country, my brother. So she needs to stop calling the radio and defending what is wrong. She back a party called PAM. Sylvine over 1967, the 10th of June, because she was old enough. She know when they come to kill Bratcher and the Anguillan speak out and send the truth that they didn't know what they're coming to do. Just like what Russia doing to Ukraine. Sending them youngsters in there to fight, and they don't know what they're fighting for. Sylvine has no respect for nobody in this country. She all about herself, and she wickedness. I mean, I stop saying, Sylvine, you need to stop. People need to put you in your place, because you have no respect for people. You don't care about nobody but yourself and your party. And every time you talk, I can talk. Because you must stop it. When you come talk about, people must take it easy. Sylvine, everybody gone dead. You're a Christian. Stop wish people bad, but pressure, because you're more under pressure. So you need to stop. Every time people talk, you come talk about people going to get pressure. When Timothy was talking, you up and down behind them, you never going to get pressure. You need to stop in your place. So you tell nobody, say, have a good day.
Right, let's set this short break, and when we come back, we'll continue Voices here on 1FM 98.9. It is 11:47 a.m., just a few minutes before the headline news. We'll take this break, and when we come back, we'll continue Voices for today, Wednesday, March 9, 2022. Let's hit this break.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drug Store's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drug Store's curbside pickup service.
Pour it up, need the thirst quencher in my cup. If you have one, hold it up and say, what's the brother colors in my life? refreshing and nice. And I drink that what we like, but stand full of vibes. Living for the color, and I'm black and white. We do what we like, we live to enjoy life. Buster, pour it up, different flavor. Load it up. If you have one, hold it up and say, Master put the colors in my life.
Decided what to eat yet, hon?
Yep, almost.
If only this was easy like when we switched to Flow.
Best decision ever. Combining our mobile with Flow Internet
Saving hundreds each month on our mobile.
and getting double data to share for up to 4 lines. My ideas are the best.
Any idea when you'll make this decision?
Yeah, soon. Switch to Flow Postpaid and sign up for internet for big mobile savings and double data as low as $80 per line. Visit discoverflow.co for details. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to Voices. Let's take this call. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Please call us back at 466-0989 and 762-0989. This is Voices, WINNFM 98.9. We have 10 minutes before we break for the headline news. We are bigging up our women on the occasion of International Women's Month. Yesterday was International Women's Day, which March 8th. The phone lines are open and we are taking your calls. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning again. Good morning, Curtis. May the Lord bless you. Just ignore the noise. Now, Sunday afternoon, I was listening to a program on your station. And I don't know the name of it, but it was a number of men. Some of them I know, right?
Here he know.
What's the name of the show?
Here he know.
Here he know?
Yeah.
Here he know? All right. But I like the show. I was a bit kind of concerned Sunday afternoon when references and comments were being made that, women, if they notice that women have all the top, most of the top position in the public service and whatever. The question is, what is preventing the men from occupying those positions? That is the question they should have been asking. Because there are different reasons, why females occupy most of the top position in the public service, why women are occupying other positions, and how did they get there? 'Cause that's what we need to start with. Now, you hear about the performance, even at the CXC, at UE, where the majority of the student population is female. Is extra provision made to get women there?
To get them to go to CFBC?
Yes, let me start with CFBC. Now, some are saying, well, they don't get vocational. There is the technical division of the CFBC. What is preventing the males from going there? I mean, we got to be realistic. I taught first year economics at the University Center for those who were doing the first year courses. And the 1 and 2 men, a lot, not all men, because some men are ambitious, but a lot of them, they got to go stand up around the corner. They got to go like, even some of them playing sports. They don't say whether they're going to play sports today and make preparation to further my education. That is what women are doing, A lot of them work the same 8-9 hours on a job and have to sacrifice their time to attend classes. I mean, it takes hard work and dedication. And some of them, I don't want to study. Well, in this day and age, people want to see the paper first, and what you have to say after, in case some of you don't know. And it's worse now you got the CVQ, the Caribbean Vocational Qualification. We have people who even go to CFBC or have been working at trades for years and refused to take the CBQ examination. So then what happened? The other people strolling, even women. I've seen women doing construction around here. You can't be blaming women for having ambition. And when it comes to the public service, I could tell you, because it's an economic fact, that whereas in years before, male dominated the top, the men have moved out of teaching, public service. Most of them have moved out because they can earn more in the private sector. So the women fill the gap. The women fill the gap. Somebody was asking about how many male teachers we have, how many male head teachers. I think they said out of 23, they had 7. What is stopping the males then from teaching? The answer is simple: the pay. You go into the police force, they walk in, they walk out. Why? Why the females stay? You know, so we had to stop blaming women for success and for having ambition, because it can get worse. Unless our males are willing to sacrifice, do what it takes to get ahead, they will always find themselves falling back. And then you turn around, oh, dedication. I'm encouraging the men. So many courses and so are offered. Who taking them up? How many males compared to females go to Cuba? How many males compared to females go to Taiwan? How many males are taking up the other scholarships? They can't go left the dog. You know? They can't go left the band. You have to decide what you want and where do you expect to be in the next 5-10 years. So if a female sit down and decide, look, well, I want to pass this pay scale. I had to make the decision, you know. I went to Teachers College in 71, 72 full-time. And when I graduated, I discovered, and I was in my 20s, that I will only get 10 increment. I said, 10 increment? You understand what I'm saying? After that, my salary is frozen. So whether I work for 40 years or whatever, I'm in the same scale. I said, no, darling, I will have to go to university, and began to make preparation to do so. And it cost me, because I had to leave young children. The last one was 2. One was 8 and one was 12. It was a sacrifice. My husband had to look after them. So what I'm saying, every time I hear people complaining about, oh, the woman them taking over, nobody giving it to them, they have to work harder. They have to work harder to get where they are, because there's still the mentality that the man supposed to be at the top.
All right.
All right, then.
Thank you so much, caller, for your contribution. We're out of time. We have to break now for the headline news. And when we come back, we'll continue Voices right here on 1FM 98.9. It's 11:58, just 2 minutes before we take a break for the headline news. Let me say thank you so much for your contribution and participation in this program. For the first hour, we congratulated women on the occasion of International Women's Day, which was yesterday, Tuesday, March 8th. And of course, throughout the month of March, people will be recognizing the contribution and the role women play in society. Women continue to be a pillar of strength to us, and we thank them so much for all that they have been doing. Please stick and stay for the headline news, and we'll be right back after the headline news to continue Voices right here on 1FM 98.9. Let me give out the numbers when we come back. The numbers are 466-0989 and 762-0989. Remember, we have the WhatsApp number too, so you can send us your contribution via WhatsApp at 662-2204. That is 662-2204. And of course, for the latest in news locally, regionally, and internationally, you can check out our website at www.WINNMediaSKN.com. That is WINN mediaskn.com for the latest in local, regional, and international news and so on. Thank you so much for your contribution to this program. Stick and stay. We'll be right back. Don't go. We'll continue the conversation. We'll shift into something a bit different, and I want to hear from you, your take on this. This, of course, has been on the minds of many people for some time, and it recently, let me use the word exploded a few days ago. But I want to get your participation and your take on it. Voice your concern, your opinion on this matter right here on Voices on WINNFM 98.9. We'll be right back. Stick and stay.
You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and National Bank.
Did you know that National Bank offers very favorable terms and low interest rate to switch your home mortgage? Our in-house legal department will process your mortgage in a jiffy and free of cost. Switch your home mortgage now and get a peace of mind knowing that we are here for you. National Bank, always here.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tilly Wall with a local reputation and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business, property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we've got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. Dealey Walwyn, people you can trust.
With the Win Headline News, I am Kevon Brown.
And I am Yolana Weeks.
Making the headlines, Public Works testing new traffic lights in preparation for commissioning.
10 women in Nevis honored for contribution in climate change adaptation and more.
Government in Barbados to review the VAT applied on fuel. Internationally, South Korean voters will elect the country's next president on Wednesday, capping a race that has been marked by surprises, scandals, and smear campaigns. Now, the details. The Public Works Department will be testing traffic lights in 6 areas around Basseterre on Thursday, March 10th. According to the engineer with the Department of Public Works, George Gilbert, the test will begin at 9 a.m. to avoid rush hour and be completed at noon. He made that announcement during On the Road with GQ this morning, March 9th, on ZIZ. The areas to be tested are the junction of Wellington Road and Dickerson Street at the gas station, Upper College Street Gut and Keon Street, Lower College Street Gut and the Bay Road, Port Zante West, Rams Supermarket or Quartz, Port Zante East by the Sands Complex, Sandown Road and the Bay Road. The 6 areas were part of a traffic lights project that started in January 2021 at 7 intersections.
I must admit to you that we were moving ahead with the traffic lights. We had some setback from the COVID, of course, and then we actually experienced concern from one of the patrons along the road, and we had to go back to the drawing board to review that particular area. So we had put a hold on the whole project. Now, what we intend to do is to move ahead and turn on the lights for 6 areas,
said Gilbert. The test is in preparation for operationalizing the traffic lights. Jamaican engineer Mr. Winfred Cross is consulting on the project. Mr. Cross said the tests are critical to the operational efficiency of the traffic lights.
What we are testing for, it's including the sensors in the road, it's including the pedestrian walk time, so everybody on the ground is comfortable. It's a scientific theory to much walk on the walk time and the don't walk time. So we'll be testing for a myriad of everything. As I said, the sensors, the pedestrian, the bulbs itself, the sequence of the lights, and generally the timing of the lights. How the heads are positioned, that the moment that everybody is comfortable, that they are seeing it properly, that visibility is okay. So that's the mirror. And it should take each of them about 15 minutes, thereabout.
Initially, the project was expected to be completed in March 2021. However, the 7th intersection at Bird Rock and Bay Road has posed several problems during the project. According to Gilbert, the slip lanes were expected to be completed in May 2021. The completion of the project was delayed by restrictions on movement during high COVID-19 transmission, complaints from property owners and business owners of the surrounding areas, and the inability to do an accurate vehicle count to help understand the flow of traffic and the best way to program the lights.
One of the reasons why we held so long before we did the data, because there was a COVID, they were locked down, schools were on shift, some schools were closed, so the schools ships were not coming, so we didn't have the fullness of the traffic movement. So if we had done a survey during those times there, it would not reflect what we were looking for. So we wanted to reflect a true indication of our traffic,
said Gilbert.
Now the cruise industry is coming back on stream, schools are fully in gear, everybody back to work again as normal. People going to customs, people going all over, then we actually take the opportunity and do the traffic count at that time there. So we have picked up the information is being analyzed at this moment, and then a decision will be made with consultation with the stakeholders in the area there.
No estimated timeline was shared for operationalizing the lights.
The Ministry of Health and Gender Affairs Nevis, in commemoration of International Women's Day, hosted an awards ceremony to honor 10 outstanding women and 2 organizations on the island of Nevis. The International Women's Day Awards ceremony was held at the Nevis Performing Arts Center, NEPAC, on Tuesday night, March 8, under the International Women's Day theme, Gender Equality Today, for a sustainable tomorrow. According to Gender Affairs Officer Ms. Verna Grant, the purpose of the awards ceremony was to recognize the contribution of women and girls who are leading the charge in climate change adaptation, mitigation, and response to build a more sustainable future for all. The awardees were Mrs. Wendy Elliott Williams, Mrs. Merla Isles Barzi, Miss Nikesha Henry, Mrs. Ravina Tamara Prasad, Miss Heidi Tyson, Miss Davina Smithen, Miss Kwesian Davis, Miss Alia Powell, Miss Joy Napier, Miss Russell Jeffers, the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society, and Windward in Action. The guest speaker of the event was attorney at law Miss Althea Campbell, who during her presentation examined 3 issues: where we are today in relation to gender inequality, what a sustainable tomorrow would look like, and how will we get there. So where are we today? Questioned Campbell as she shared some of the realities that women currently face.
As glamorous as we make it look, the reality for most women today can be summed up in 3 words: overworked and underpaid. We are overworked because most of us carry the double burden of trying to juggle a career while also handling the other responsibilities associated with womanhood. These other responsibilities are now referred to by social scientists as unpaid care work. They refer to childcare, elder care, cleaning the home, and even growing backyard gardens. Most of us have been socialized to believe that these are just feminine jobs, and as a result, young girls are taught at a very early age how to cook and how to clean, while boys get to enjoy their childhood.
Campbell purported that this type of socialization is a definitive characteristic of inequality. She further explained that unpaid care work results in the lower productivity of women, as many women give up the opportunity of self-advancement to perform care work on a full-time basis at home. Campbell shared a second result, which is less participation by women in politics. She shared the view that women do not have time to engage in politics, considering the unpaid care work to be done, and also the perceived notion that politics is a man's field. How do we get to a sustainable tomorrow?
For starters, women and men alike need to reconsider our thoughts on gender roles. As much as I quite enjoy blaming men for everything, the reality is that we women are also responsible for the way we socialize our boys to adhere to gender roles.
Campbell added that creative means must be added to relieve the burdens of women from unpaid work, and also for women to feel empowered to be in political leadership, so that women's causes can be championed and effective women-centered solutions can be reached. The International Women's Day Awards ceremony was attended by Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, Junior Minister in the Ministry of Health and Gender Affairs, the Honorable Hazel Brandy Williams, and other members of the local parliament. The hosts of the event were Mr. Mario Phillip and Mrs. Pamela Martin. The awards ceremony was followed by entertainment and cocktails in the NIPAC courtyard.
In regional news, government in Barbados to review the VAT applied on fuel. Barbados Today has the details.
Government is again exploring the possibility of capping the value-added tax collected on fuel. Word of this from Minister in the Ministry of Finance Ryan Strawn, who revealed that those details will be outlined in next week's budget. He said that a promised ease in taxes on freight is also on the cards, but fears that with further increases expected to hit the global market, the savings for consumers may be limited.
As it relates to the fuel tax itself, as we had indicated previously, we had indicated that we would review the VAT that was being applied to the entire system and determine at what level we will cap the VAT that we collect on that. And therefore it is not the fuel tax, but the actual taxation of fuel, generally speaking, in relation to that. And therefore, as I said, you will hear something on that specifically on Monday in relation to
Some taxi and public service vehicle operators are urging government to put measures in place to help them cope with rising fuel prices. In fact, they suggested that government could remove the annual registration fee imposed on members of the sector. In 2018, government abolished the road tax for private and commercial vehicles and replaced it with a fuel tax. However, owners of commercial vehicles were made to pay an annual registration fee. Here's what some had to say about the impact of fuel increases.
Impacting pretty hard. This is for a while now, not only now. We are paying road tax at the government place in the point. We have to pay road tax every year, and still we're paying for it in the gas. So it's affecting us double. And this morning I went in the pump. Normally it would fill up around, it would charge me around 180. This morning I went to 205.
It has been affecting me for a while, and now the little increase would affect you more. Because I was telling you earlier, we taxi guys still pay road tax, which the other guys don't. So we end up paying more at the pump still than those, in a sense, than those guys, because we still pay road tax.
What have you been doing to try to mitigate the impact?
But in a try, because I in a job that I can't do that, but I got to put it in. Because I'm a taxi guy, so I got to work. So there's no way to try to mitigate it, to impact it. I got to work, so I got to put it in.
So do you see anything that the government could do then to help?
Well,
What can be done at the national level?
Well, they could try the easy taxi, man. Because, fares haven't gone up since 2008 on the island. So. And since then, gas have gone up real enough times.
What the government will do, it will probably encourage the business sector to see how they could cut back on the prices, etc., to help the economy. So that's when it will out. But it will be very difficult to think, because when prices increase, the producer or the business people can pass it on most likely to the consumer. But if we want to look for the overall development of the country, those business people will go try hard enough to mitigate their prices so that they not pass it on to the consumers.
We now bring you these international reports.
With a record third of people having already cast their ballots in early voting, this is shaping up to be one of the most hotly contested elections ever. Going to the polls, the two frontrunners, Lee Jae-myung from the ruling Liberal Democratic Party and his conservative rival, Yoon Suk-yeol from the People Power Party. After weeks of campaigning, often marred by personal scandals and mudslinging, this contest could be decided by the younger generation. Normally inclined to vote progressive, many young people have been put off by the failure of the ruling Liberals to tackle wealth inequality and the high cost of home ownership.
Rather than saying those in their 20s have become conservative, I think that they've moved away from progressive tendencies.
Job seeker Kim Sung-han is being kitted out for an upcoming interview in a suit rental scheme that's paid for by Seoul Metropolitan Government. It's one of a number of measures to help young people cope in the city.
I think it would be difficult to live in Seoul without this kind of support. Finding a job and making a living is very difficult.
Liberal candidate Lee is hoping to win over the disillusioned young with his own rags-to-riches story, rising from an impoverished rural background to become governor of South Korea's most populous province. One issue that doesn't feature prominently with young voters is the state of relations with North Korea, which, in spite of several years of diplomatic engagement by the outgoing Liberal President Moon Jae-in, are once again back in a deep freeze. But North Korea is more important with older voters who, it seems, have been waiting for this chance to punish the Liberals at the ballot box.
North Korea has been quite provocative. South Korea's reaction has been incompetent.
If you can't gain anything from reconciliatory gestures, then I don't think it's working.
They say the best way to keep the peace is to be ready for war, and I think that's true.
Conservative candidate Yoon has promised a much tougher line with the North if he wins, ensuring this election could have implications way beyond the Korean Peninsula. Rob McBride, Al Jazeera, Seoul.
Oil prices headed higher again on Wednesday, that after the US moved to ban Russian imports. International benchmark Brent crude hit highs above $130 per barrel in early European trade. The UK also said it would phase out Russian imports by the end of the year. But it could be a different story for the EU. Robert Yorga is an energy futures strategist at Mizuho.
Here in the United States, I mean, we've imported 200,000 barrels a day, so we can definitely exist without that. It's a spit in the bucket. The Eurozone, we're talking percentage points, double digits. So it's a totally different game.
European stock markets, meanwhile, saw a sharp rebound in early trade. The regional Stock 600 index rose around 3% from the open. Hard-hit banks, travel stocks and automakers all jumped 4% or more. Investors picked up shares hammered by the recent market sell-off, but one analyst told Reuters there was little sign of a change in sentiment. Earlier in Asia, stocks fell again, with the Shanghai Composite Index down more than 1%. But the big falls of previous days were avoided. One trader said markets had Russia fatigue, with all the bad news now priced in.
Hello and welcome to BBC World News. The Russians say they will pause their bombardment of Kyiv and 4 other cities so that civilians can leave. Chernihiv, Sumy, Kharkiv and Mariupol will all receive a temporary reprieve, that is according to a Russian state news agency. However, several previous ceasefires have not been honoured. This comes as Russian forces gain ground in the south of Ukraine but continue to meet fierce resistance and logistical problems in the north. Explosions have been heard in Kyiv over the past few hours. James Reynolds has the latest details.
For 12 hours, a ceasefire just about held in the northern city of Sumy, allowing 5,000 civilians to escape into central Ukraine. In this war, every journey involves risk and heartbreak.
So terrible, and my parents, I left my parents in Sumy. I hope I will see them another time.
This is the war that they were fleeing. Russia promises further temporary ceasefires later today to allow evacuations from other cities, including Chernihiv, Kharkiv, and also the besieged Mariupol in the south. The exodus from the city of Irpin near the capital Kiev is slow and agonizing. More than 2 million civilians have now left the country. The United Nations says that more than 470 civilians have been killed in the invasion. To fight the Russian army, Poland proposes sending its fighter jets to a US Air Force base in Germany. But the US is cool to the offer. It doesn't want to provoke a direct fight between its forces and Russia, 2 powers each armed with nuclear weapons. So instead, the US is focusing on cutting off Russia. Washington is now banning the import of Russian oil. The UK says it will phase out Russian oil imports by the end of the year. And the EU, which relies heavily on Russian energy, plans to cut its use by 2/3.
The sanctions are not enough, but do not listen to those who say sanctions do not matter. They already matter. They already matter for us. Unfortunately, their effect is not that quick and swift as we would have expected, because every minute, every hour, a soldier or a civilian dying in Ukraine, while sanctions are discussed, then thought over, then slightly introduced. We need as strong as sanctions as possible immediately.
In the southern city of Odessa, still controlled by Ukraine, there are lighter moments. Don't worry, be happy, plays the band. Perhaps easier said than done. The capital, Kiev, puts up whatever defenses it can build. The Russian army is just miles away, and this city can sense its approach. James Reynolds, BBC News.
You were listening to the WINNFM Headline News on 98.9. Our top stories were: Public Works testing new traffic lights in preparation for commissioning.
10 women in Nevis honored for contribution in climate change adaptation and more.
Government in Barbados to review the VAT applied on fuel. Internationally, South Korean voters will elect the country's next president on Wednesday, capping a race that has been marked by surprises, scandals, and smear campaigns. Thank you for listening.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and National Bank.
Protect your lifestyle with Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tilly Wall with a low reputation and service for second to none. Securing you is our mission. People that you can trust, your business, property, we got you covered. Motor or personal, whatever it is, we got you covered. 130 years in this business, we've got you covered. For all your insurance needs, visit or call us at 465-2631 or 469-5303. Delia Walwyn, people you can trust.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoyed the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your National Bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Horswood's Building and Nevis Centers continues to make your lawn and gardening easy. Go to Horswood's Building and Nevis Center now and get 25% off store-wide on the entire lawn and garden equipment. Yes, for the months of February and March, Horswood's Building Center and Nevis Center is making improving your lawn and garden easy with 25% off garden supplies, garden equipment, garden accessories, including weed eaters, lawnmowers, and much more. Get 25% off all lawn and garden items happening now at Horswood's Building Center in St. Kitts and Nevis. Horswood's Building and Nevis Centers, making home improvement easy. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Welcome back to Voices here on WINNFM 98.9. It is 12:31 here in the studios, and thank you so much for joining us on today's program. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and I'm happy to be here with you for another edition of Voices on WINNFM 98.9. Welcome back to Voices. Thank you so much for joining us. We are live on Facebook at WINNmedia SKN. You can also check out our YouTube channel, which is WINNmedia SKN. We are live on Twitter and Instagram as well. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls here today. Call us at 466-0989, 762-0989, and the overseas numbers for UK, in the UK, you can call us at 033-344-0065. You can also call us, if you're in the USA, call us from 718-285-6984. And if you are in Canada, please call us at 305-921-4619. Let's head to the phone lines and we'll take our first call for this afternoon. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello, caller. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon again, my brother.
Hi, good afternoon.
Let's get serious with what's going on in St. Kitts. You ain't got time to waste with this joking old lady. We got to deal with the facts, my brother. I'll give you an assignment to do. When you get a chance, I want you to find out for me, Mr. Cornelius, how much women lost their job within the past 7 years. and how much women lost their job within the past 2 years concerning the pandemic. You see, because everybody's quoting out, they don't have to see what issues to deal with in this federation. We got the Lindsey Grant issue right now. Where Lindsey Grant going to come and say the boy has no respect for people. Lindsey Grant going to wait till 2 months later to say he apologized. When the reporter asked the other day concerning Lindsey Grant at the press conference, what he said? He said to the reporter, speak to my lawyer. It's a live case. Speak to my lawyer to come around. Well, no, he come back saying he apologized. What are you apologizing and saying? Nobody want you not to Lindsey Grant. Nobody want you not to call from these people. They got no respect for people. You get the brunt of them, Mr. Cornelius, from Mark Brantley. The female reporter want to work with you there, get the brunt of them, push a short time. If you didn't call him to defend the lady. The nurses was on Win FM, Freedom FM, talking about the grievances. Nobody called him to talk about the nurses because all women. But yesterday and today, we want to talk about women. What about all the young people, some young lady who got raped in this community? Nobody want to talk about that. Because it was okay for the case to cook up and everything to go their way so they could walk free. Nobody want to discuss that. Nobody want to discuss all the young ladies who was raped before. Because it was not their problem. But we're skirting around and saying all kind of things. We got major issues going on right now, my brother. Big, massive fight between Unity and PAM and CCM. Mark Brantley balling mother. But nobody wants to talk about it. Will ambition how much you woman in labor. Well, it is all man I see in CCM. But don't discuss that. Just discuss about labor. Nobody realizes that the country running out of control. Because if you have a massive fight within, listen Lindsey Grant's speech, within my cabinet they want to lock me up. That's what he said. I wonder if we understand what he said. We raise these big liars, the Wilkins, the Mortons, the Governor General, these big pastors who's supposed to come forward and say, hey, our country is going down the wrong road. Where's the leadership? Don't talk about that. But when Dougie was in, we could tell you that damn Dougie cheating some bad, and Dougie this, and Dougie that. Motion and no confidence, and everybody defend it. But what are we defending today? Where's all these big wigs? This ain't a behind-the-scene fight. The fight is in our face. It's affecting our school children. It's affecting the country. But nobody wants to call in to talk about the mass issue going on in the country. Because nobody's worrying about country, about self anymore, Mr. Cornelius. But before, a lot of them put their life on the line. They went down Church Street. They used to come and trend this program, and everybody was talking about the issue. What was going on there? There's nothing wrong with that. Because we had issues. But today, Mr. Cornelius, this is the worst in my entire life I see my country. And you know the bad part, Mr. Cornelius? Kennedy Alphonse Simmons is alive today. He's our national hero, and he's quiet. Check what's going on today, you know. The national hero presently is alive as I speak to you. And he's not calling out the injustice, what is going on in the Federation. Because nobody wants to offend nobody. Everybody worrying about power. Everybody, all of them, they're worrying about power. Because they don't want to come out and speak on the injustice. So right about now, it's a massive fight. Look Sean on Facebook the other day. Lindsay come out swinging. Timothy swinging. Mark swinging. Where our country going, Mr. Cornelius? You're smarter than me. I guess you'll understand it more than me. Sylvian greater than me. Where is our country going presently now in this mess? Is the country running properly, Mr. Cornelius? Or everybody doing as they like? We must deal with the hard issue and stop being so one-sided. That's what we need to do. She focused this morning on Marcelo and what Labour do at the convention. Well, whatever Labour do at the convention cannot affect the country at this moment. We got a problem.
All right.
Where Timothy is afraid to travel because he don't want to put Sean Richard in charge. Timothy is afraid to travel because he don't want to put Mark Brantley in charge. Sherry, so he take off his clothes and take off his stuff from him. So he's the sheriff. Look who Timothy sent to Belize. Mr. Cornelius is not Mark, is the foreign minister. Hello, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm listening to you. He is, yes.
I'm asking a question. Engage me too because you don't engage, Sylvie.
I'm listening. I'm listening to you, man.
I'm asking you, is Mr. Mark Brantley is not the foreign minister?
Yes, he is.
So why is Vance Amry doing down in Belize? Vance Amry say he finished with politics. He's resigned from politics. So why is Vance Amry and the government good? Making big money, done 62, getting to pension, and still now making big money again. You tell me. These the people say allow young people? Huh? You explain to me, Mr. Cornelius, because I know I was saying you're making sense. Why is why is Vance Amry on the government payroll today? What he doing in Belize is another insult to Mark Brantley. Why is Michael Oliver Powell, where our first national hero is alive, cannot tell us today why Powell was thrown at Pam? Why Powell was thrown at the government as the deputy prime minister? Why? Why nobody asking Simmons to tell us? You tell me, Mr. Powell today is an advisor. How dunce can we be in this country? What can Powell advise Timothy? You tell me again. Why is the Powell who done 60, almost 80, getting to pension and extend the pension? He getting pension as a parliamentarian. He getting pension for his age. And now he on the government payroll. How much more money these people want? You tell me, Mr. Cornelius, if I'm making any sense. You tell me, Simmons is alive. Why he cannot come forward to tell us why he threw Powell out of power? Why? But Powell getting big money. These are the issues we need to be addressing. And a fella calling last week before going telling you about the Warner Park Stadium. Again, General Powell let me to stop lying because there was the same people who had the most wickedest thing to say about the Warner Park Stadium, my brother. When Douglas built it, it was a waste of money. Mark Brantley words think it does not have any test player. When Mr. Cornelius let me ask a question, is Grove Park look any better in 2022 than how we look ever since? Hello, Mr. Cornelius.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening to you. No, there's been no upgrade at the Grove Park.
Good. So is Douglas fault still? It's still Labour fault why Grove Park has not been upgraded with all the test players? Stuart Williams, Renaka Morton, El Camino Willett, Derek Perry, Renaka, who do that son? The boy Tuckett. I just name a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
Have the park been upgraded since? So is Douglas? Let's be fair to Douglas, my brother. And if people must honest with themselves, my brother, when Sinkis built this Warner Park Stadium, Nevis, even though they didn't want to be a part, Vance Amry get all kind of publicity from the same Sinkis. Because when the camera was shining, they're talking about Sinkis and Nevis. When the players got day off, they go to Nevis and Catamaran. So if Douglas was the fault, was not helping Nevis going forward, we must stop being so dishonest. Because Vance Amry was asked to be a part of the World Cup. He refused. You must stop the truth, Cornelius. These are the things people don't want you to hear. Today, they're boasting about CPL, but who built the park? When Douglas put in the light, what they say? When Douglas put in the big chamber screen, what did they say? Waste of money, waste of time. But today, you're taking praise for the Warner Park Stadium. Douglas was a dictator and he's a dictator. We got a Kennedy Simmons Highway. But who put that to there? Douglas was a dictator and he's a dictator. We got the Vance Amry Airport. Who put it there? You tell me, Mr. Cornelius. So who is the real dictator? People must stop lying. Give credit where credit is due. I wouldn't stand here and tell you that Douglas did not have his fault. But give the man credit for the vision. The same thing when he built the Marriott Hotel. All of them blues. Look the Marriott Hotel today. Look the Koi. Look the Kitchen Hill. Timothy was up there the other day. Big party. Who paid the bill? Who built the same hotel, the same Kitchen Hill when they say it was a waste of time and money? You tell me, Mr. Cornelius, the same airport of Bratcher Bill, 747 could land on it today. Douglas bring British Airways, Continental, name them. But he done nothing for 20 years. And Timothy was apartheid for 18. Why do you think everybody shook it?
All right, go on.
These are the
We want
issues,
to take
my
some
brother.
more calls.
We need to be touching. You have a lovely day.
Right, we take some more calls here on Voices on 1FM 98.9. Let's head back to the phone lines. Okay, we seem to have lost that call. Please call us back at 466-0989 and 762-0989. Call us back. Let's take this call. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cornelius. Good afternoon to your listeners. Excuse me. Yes, greetings once more in the name of Jesus Christ, the only Savior of sinners and the second person of the Trinity. Now, first of all, I would like to say that concerning Miss Henry, and the last time she called, the last show that she had with her calling in. Concerning Miss Henry should realize that...
Concerning what? Today we're talking about International Women's Day. Yesterday was International Women's Day. So we're using the opportunity to say thank you and recognize the women in our communities, in our society. Do you have any greetings on the occasion of International Women's Day?
Well, I would like to say something about that as well. But first of all, I would like to say, concerning Miss Henry, first of all, I would like to let her know that the Word of God is eternal and it applies for all time. It wasn't just for an agricultural society. It is for us today and it is for all time. And you're doing more damage to Christianity than helping it. And this is why I don't consider her to be a Christian, because she attacked the very foundation of Christianity, which is the Bible, which she tried to bring down and discredit. Now, concerning women, women should always realize, and just like men, that their hope and their guidance and all the instructions are in the Bible. And I would just like to quote a passage of the Bible for women. It is Titus chapter 2, verses 3 to 5. And all women should take heed, because I think because we do not take heed of the Bible, why society is going down the drain. If we like this, all the women, I'm reading from the English Standard Version. All the women likewise are to be reverent in behavior, not slanderers or slaves to much wine. They are to teach what is good, and so train the young women to love their husbands and children, to be self-controlled, pure, working at home, kind, and submissive to their own husbands, that the word of God may not be reviled. This is God's instructions to all women. Now, I know Miss Henry would like to believe, that was written to an agricultural society, so that ain't for us today. I mean, we Christians like her, Christianity doesn't really need any enemy, because she's pulling down Christianity very, very much, and to her own destruction. Women, this is the top priority of women, not to be building up some other man's home, the employer home or whatever, but to be building up the husband's home. This is what is needed for society to go forward. When women do these things to the glory of Jesus Christ as godly Christian women, this is the way women ought to go. This is God's instructions to women, which today has been rejected to our own destruction and ruin. You see, we ignore and we go against the Bible to our own destruction and ruin.
All right, thank you, caller,
and
for your
it's only
contribution.
when we get back in line with the Bible, women performing the roles of women, men performing the roles as men to the glory of Jesus Christ, in Jesus Christ, is only then we will enjoy the blessings of God and society. and prosper as a godly people. Thank you very much.
All right, let's head back to the phone lines. We take some more calls. Okay, we seem to have lost that call. Okay, so earlier, before we took the break for the headline news, I wanted to share with you a letter that we received here from the People's Action Movement with regards to the matter concerning Government Minister Lindsey Grant and members of the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force. And this letter is from the political leader of the People's Action Movement, the Honorable Sean Richards. And I will share this with you right after we take this break for our sponsors. So let's take this break for our sponsors, and when we come back, I share this with you. A letter from the political leader of the People's Action Movement, the Honorable Sean Richards. Let's take this break, and we'll be right back.
Found the sound 98.9 Win FM.
Here are your Horsfield's Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tag specials from February 24th until March 9th. Essential Everyday Cranberry Juice Cocktails, $8.99. Lay's Stack Chips, $5.99. IGA or Essential Everyday Chunk and Shredded Cheeses, $7.99. Bird's Eye Steamed Fresh Vegetables, $5.99. Hot Pockets, $13.99. IGA or Essential Everyday Salad Dressings, $7.99. And now, our very low weekly value deals.
Gracias, Joanne. IGA or Essential Everyday Canned Fruits, $7.99. Multi-meal cereals, $12.99. Euros Pasta, $5.99. Sandwich Ice Cream, $18.99. Quaker Oatmeal Quick and Regular, $13.99. Gain Dish Liquid Soap, $6.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Joanne, in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí a Value Mart.
Welcome back to Voices here on WINN FM 98.9. We are continuing today's program. So I was telling you I have here with me a letter from the political leader of the People's Action Movement, PAM, the Honorable Sean K. Richards, which came out yesterday. This was sent to us from the PAM headquarters, and it reads, "We have learned that the local police have moved in to charge our colleague and MP, Lindsey Grant, for alleged conduct during a much publicized incident a few weeks ago. Grant has retained counsel, and his lawyers have expressed confidence in successfully defending the matter. They have described the charges as baseless. Indeed, we are aware of a political subtext to the entire issue, and there have been naked attempts by some to seek to score political points. It says that is why in many ways we are glad the charges have been brought, and we call for a speedy trial so that the real story will be told and some of the real intent exposed through the legal system, which we have extreme confidence in. We support the police in doing their work, but we think that it has been unfortunate that professional officers have been put under so much pressure to escalate the situation in what is an apparent attempt to embarrass the Member of Parliament and to undermine people's faith in members of Team unity. Our members stand in solidarity with Grant, who, under the construct of our system, is innocent until and unless proven otherwise. Our position is that there must be a speedy trial so that the whisper campaign can end. There is a correct saying that justice delayed is justice denied. Any undue delay in the matter will indeed be injurious to the rights of the honorable member. The People's Action Movement stands for truth and clarity. Indeed, we are determined to provide Grant with all the legal assistance he may need in the matter. We call on all concerned to exercise discipline and restraint and show respect to our legal processes. This is a letter from the Honorable Sean K. Richards, the political leader of the People's Action Movement, and it has the party's letterhead, and it came to us via email yesterday. And of course, this follows the statement made by the Honorable Lindsey Grant on Saturday, right here on WINNFM, where he was responding or giving his response to the situation that involved him and members of the police force, where there was a verbal altercation at the last lap bar. Of course, this was captured on footage and sent all across the internet. And since then, there have been a number of there have been people calling for his resignation, pressure from citizens, pressure from the opposition for him to step down and step away from that position. However, Minister Grant, on Saturday, he apologized for the matter and he regret what took place. However, he is confident that he is innocent and his legal team and his many witnesses stand ready to defend him in court if that day is to come. This, of course, is a big issue and is not only being talked about locally, here in St. Kitts and Nevis, that is, but across the region. Many of you perhaps heard the interview with lawyer Chesley Hamilton and The Narrative. I think they're from Grenada, with part of the Carib update. So it is a much talked about thing here. But I guess it's now just for us to sit back and see how this plays out in court and if the charges are going to hold. Now, Minister Grant, in his statement on Saturday, believes that there is some internal pressure, or the charges that are being laid here are somewhat an internal thing from within his own government. These were his words. And of course, other people have been making these claims that, well, there is what one would say turmoil, political turmoil within the team unity construct. And the comment by Minister Grant on Saturday, of course, that I would say perhaps gave more ammunition to people who had the notion that there is some confusion within the team unity administration. I want to hear from you, the listeners of WINNFM 98.9. So we'll open the phone lines and we'll take your calls. Please be respectful and let us not seek to disrespect anybody whilst sharing our views and comments. We'll take our first call for this afternoon. Let's take this call. Caller, good afternoon. Okay, we lost that caller. Let's head back to the phone lines. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Devon.
Good afternoon.
How are you today?
I'm great, thanks. What about you?
I'm doing great. Devon, this morning I made a comment on a different radio station pertaining to the incident in Ukraine, and one of my responders has taken me up on it.
Sorry,
so
not to cut you off, caller, but
I'm not Devon.
we've
Devon,
shifted.
I'm
Hold
not going to raise
hold on, caller.
Yes.
We have shifted the conversation. We're now speaking about the matter involving Tourism Minister Lindsey Grant and the letter that came from the People's Action Movement. Do you have a comment on that? Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Let's head back to the phone lines. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Mr. Cornelius.
Guy, good afternoon.
Lindsey Grant needs to be expelled out of Parliament. These guys have no respect. Let's be real and fair. Because I know the way to do it. Let's be real and fair, Mr. Cornelius. We see what happened. I can't tell you if he slapped the police. That's not the argument. But we see he went up into the police face, whoever had the camera face. We saw that much. We also listened to him speaking. Now he's the minister. He's everything. These are the same people telling you, you sound angry on the radio. People are filming and the rest of them. You sound angry. Well, Lindsey Grant was Lindsey Grant angry? You understand what I'm saying, Mr. Cornelius? As look what happened to EK, as you said, they're suing, they're doing anything to people. You must be careful now what you say. Because they want to sue you, to talk the truth. But look at the situation with Mr. Grant. These are the issues I'm telling you, my brother. You see this guy up above, he's strong.
What do you think?
He's very strong. He's very powerful.
Mm-hmm. What do you think the outcome of these charges will be?
My brother, I don't know. Because think it is a corrupt country. We see when Lindsey Grant and General Powell with the misappropriate business. We saw a lawyer, listen to a lawyer say the police officer was removed from investigating them. I wonder why. We're taking these things lightly. I don't take things lightly, Mr. Cornelius. That's why when people talking, they say, all I'm trying to do is views. I deal with the issue. You ask a very good question. How can I trust the people who are in the system at the moment? Because we saw before election that the police who was doing the investigation was removed. Now let's move on. You remember there was a quarrel some years ago. I got the clip. That's why I keep everything. Because I got the same clip with when it's talking.
Mm-hmm. But we don't want. But hold on, caller. We don't want to go there. We want to stick to.
I'm equipped. So what I'm saying to you, we saw some years ago, when Timothy Harris said in Tabernacle, not one eye could hold a candle against me. Who he was talking to? Why did he say that? Or you could try to clean all your suit. So these are the things now what coming back, my brother. They are coming back. So how the question to ask, can we trust the commissioner? Can we trust the people in charge in our country at the moment, Mr. Cornelius? Is justice fair? Because look what you're saying to me. From the beginning, that situation, my brother, I'm not an expert, should have handled in such an easy manner. Guess what should happen in the following day? Let's say the police did not want to arrest Lindsey Grant. They're young, they realize he's a minister, because everybody knows, but let's be fair. Okay, they want to arrest him, he went down a kind of how. The person who was in charge, the commissioner and them, should have even got to Lindsey Grant the following day quietly. So by Lindsey Grant, this is what we're going to do. The public didn't have to know. Send an inspector or somebody and arrest Lindsey Grant. And when you're done, you give me bail, because you get bail, and you take it from there. You believe we would end up in this mess today, Mr. Cornelius? But when some people pump us, the commissioner probably afraid to even he said handle it in that way.
Well, it was said by Lindsey Grant that he has been waiting for the past 2 months, for this to happen.
Yeah, but hear what I'm saying, Mr. Cornelius. Hear me again. Listen to me again. You realize we end up in a situation where he say and he say and who say. Lindsey Grant is to blame 100% for that too. Look at what happened. Let's just say to you again. It's not about Palm and Labour are going to be fair to the whole people in the situation. You know what I say to you? The next day, because obviously Lindsey Grant is the minister. Let's be real. But we must look at what is right and how you handle a situation, my brother. Mr. Cornelius, again, is the best way how I think it should happen. He did what he did today, and I agree. Everybody sometimes have an outburst. All of us. None of us don't have an outburst, and I agree. Okay? The problem with us in this country, we're too big to say we apologize. That's what I'm saying to you, brother. Lindsay had a press conference the following day. At that press conference, no apology. To the police, to the nation, nobody. To number 4, to nobody. Because the people telling him, you ain't got to apologize, you ain't do nothing. My brother, this is what killing us. The people who are in charge of us is what disrespecting us. All Lindsay had to do the following day at that press conference, come and simply say, look, I humble apology for my outburst the following day, you know, and if the police need to do what I have to do, I don't have a problem with that because I feel I was in the wrong. You know what I just said to you, Mr. Cornelius?
Yeah, I'm listening to you, yeah.
So the next step would have been, the commissioner could have given Lindsey Grant a quiet phone call. Mr. Grant, we understand what happened. The police, my junior police explained to me and sent an inspector. So if the inspector go and arrest him, you get the bail or whatever supposed to be done, or whatever charges. But he already apologized, so people have been a little bit more soft-hearted, Mr. Cornelius. When he had a press conference, he said nothing. He went in another press conference and was asked, what he said, don't ask me nothing. See me lawyers to come back down. The case is a live case. Now you come back again and do not say something about you apologize. But the case still ain't live because he just get charged. So who fooling who? Let's put common sense together, brother. Maybe in the apology, but may shook it. No, when he come back to say he apologized, when he already tell us that the case live, it's our reporter asking the question. See me lawyer, I'm going to say. That's the arrogantness if I went going wrong. All he had to say again at that thing. Reporter, I humbly apologize for my outburst. It's in the police hand. It's in my lawyer hand. And let us, whatever, even apologize to your constituents people. Let us go forward. But he was too big again. So the mess we're in today, he comes and says again that the people in the party who want to see lock up, but then the people in the party want to see lock up, Lindsay, the whole country, because you have no respect for the country. And if you had apologized early, do what you had to do, my brother, anybody would have forgive you.
All right.
But guess what? We're all about ourselves. That's what we're saying. The politician, the people in charge, because all they want to do is jump on me and you, Cornelius. The ordinary man who asks him genuine questions want to know. But because they're in power, I don't have to respect Cornelius. Man, have to respect Curtis Cook. Man, have to. But I bet you for the election time, you will apology all the clock. But we need to change our style. We're putting our future in jeopardy. And people like you who want to be a genuine, balanced reporter, they're putting you on the spot to be scared. My brother, don't be scared. If you see doctor doing a jam him. If you see Congress in a jam them. Because I don't support you. I will back you 100% because I always believe what is wrong. I ain't going on the corner with no politician. I support Labour. But if it's wrong, I'm going to call it out. So brother, don't be afraid. You're young. Everything has consequence. But make sure when you stand up, you keep your head high. That's the way I keep my head high today. 25 years, I'm getting nothing with nobody in the company. And if I feel what is right, I'm going to stand up, whatever the cost is. Because people stand up first, Mr. Cornelius, the Bradshaw, the Mandela, the Rosa Parks, name them. I will not lie down for the foolishness. A lot of us in this country is doing that, selling the soul. Nobody could pay me to defend foolishness. My buddy, you have a lovely day. I think I said enough.
All right, we're still taking your calls here on WinFM 98.9. It is 10 minutes past the hour here in our studios, and you're listening to Voices. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. The topic at hand is the matter involving Tourism Minister Lindsey Grant and the letter that came from the party's political leader, the Honorable Sean Richards. We're heading back to the phone lines and we're taking this call. Caller, good afternoon. You're on Voices.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Cornelius.
Good afternoon.
How are you today, sir?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
Yeah. I was tuning into your program when you was on the topic of paying tribute to the women. Yesterday was International Women's Day, right?
Yes.
And I call in to no avail to really contribute to that aspect of your program. Can I do so?
Well, we've passed that topic already, but I'll allow you to say something to our women.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
And in brief, I just wish to say good afternoon to Mrs. Henry and belated happy birthday. She celebrated her birthday a couple of days ago. And, you know, speaking of Mrs. Henry, she would do justice to women issue in terms of discussion and the way she comes across. So on behalf of Mrs. Henry, you can be the lone voice for all the women in St. Kitts Nevis and in the national affairs. So that's just my take on, you know, that's my contribution, because you know how I come across as towards gender balance, equality. If you understand what the politics of the Bible is, you will see where our women has been sidelined, right in the book. And so that's just my take on the whole matter. And happy International Day to all the women of the world. Bearing in mind,
right,
that Mrs. Henry, you and your parents and your mother, Mr. Cornelius, we were born free. We did not have to struggle for the freedom, the liberation of what other women in other parts of the world does. But be that as it may, we want to extend the freedom that our women enjoy to all of the other women of the world.
All
Thanks
right.
for listening.
And thank you so much, caller, for your contribution to this program. We're still taking your calls here on Voices on WinFM 98.9. It is about 12 minutes past the hour, and we are winding down. Of course, we end today's program at 1:30. Let me say thank you so much for your contribution, but we are continuing the conversation here on the matter involving Tourism Minister Lindsey Grant. And so, yes, for those of you who missed that on Saturday, he gave a response to the matter, and he called on the police to charge him, and he has since been charged. We're heading back to the phone lines and we're taking this call. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. Please call us back at 466-0989. The caller is back and we're taking this call. Caller, good afternoon. You're on Voices.
Good afternoon, Devon.
Good
How was your
afternoon.
lunch?
I ain't had lunches yet. You had any?
But I eating some popcorn. I'll eat heavier later, you know. Because look, I'm not very active. I got to watch the calories. Oh, thank you, Africa. I do appreciate it. And good afternoon to my good friend Curtis. Curtis loved my name. He loved me. Now, did you get to listen to the interview done by Peter Wickham and the brother Andrew Huey?
I did not listen it in its entirety, but I saw parts of it.
He said it is on his line.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Definitely.
Yeah, 'cause I wanted to hear it. I, like many others, want to hear the trial and to hear the details. Because if the man who judges the case before he hears the information will often be wrong. I want to hear. Regardless of the outcome, I want to hear. Then I will decide. Because other prominent lawyers say it's a small matter, in the matter of who he is referring to. Peter Wickham said it is a police he was referring to. But Sunday,
Wait, you lose me there. Who was referring to the police, sorry?
yes, Peter Wickham said, remember he said people in his own government
Uh-huh.
were pushing them to charge him.
Uh-huh.
And according to Andrew Huey,
Uh-huh.
when he interviewed Peter Wickham said the only person could have been referring to would have been the police, because they were the only ones who had the power to charge him.
Okay.
Right? So I am waiting to see, standing on the side and watching, and I'm going to listen. I'm going to try and make sure I listen to the convention on Sunday. You might get some ideas, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect from the convention?
Well, I mean, the theme for the convention is keeping the promise. So
Right.
they are
But
going
which
into.
promise?
Well, that's the question. The question is which promise, and they have said that the promise is to team unity. They're keeping their promise to team unity.
To me, that's the best thing they could do, you know. You know, we are easily distracted. When we don't have much to think about.
But when you say that, what do you mean exactly?
We?
Mm-hmm. When you say we are easily distracted.
Our people, because from the beginning, I keep saying, look, I want to hear the rest of the thing. Because otherwise, all you're left with is speculation. What he say, what happened, you know. And I asked the question, who owns the bar?
Mm-hmm. Well, I understand what you're saying.
People saying it is son.
I understand what you're saying in terms of getting the full context of it. But
I want to hear it.
but this is where we are. We are at the point where we have seen the videos. The minister himself,
we have seen a video.
Minister Grant, hold on, let me finish. Minister Grant has confirmed that he apologized.
Yes, confess.
He confessed that yes,
confirm.
he was involved in this and he regret that
Well,
this
you am
happened,
I.
right?
Of
So we're not overlooking.
Which is what we want.
Lord of mercy, let me finish. We're not looking over the fact that yes, we want to get the full understanding of what took place. But as it is right now, the minister he has confessed, he has apologized, and so we know that something happened. Based on what you have heard, what is your take on what you have heard with the little information that you say you have?
From what I heard, his remark was unbecoming. I mean, he was wrong, you know, those words he used.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's known for his temper, you know, because when he was the leader of PAM, I don't know how he and Douglas didn't fight in the street. You know, with us a short people thing to them.
Okay.
That's true. That is the most thing Douglas ever had, you know, because both of them short and the temper short, eh? So when you know, that go for anybody, if you know you have a short temper, I don't tell people put water in your mouth before you say what you have to repent of, because he said it. You know, and he was wrong to say it. There's no question, there's no doubt about it. But as to what led up to it, I don't know. And therefore, I cannot just go and call for him to resign. I say that because we had a situation on the other side where one of the candidates, Leon Natter, was charged, and I think even arrested, for having an unlicensed gun for 10 months. Right? When the matter went to court, I was going to court, the same DPP withdrew it. Now, we then have to ask, which is more dangerous? Because you're putting up yourself. He actually ran in the election. He ran against Timothy. You know? So if you are glad, because people were saying, Lord,
He ain't deserve, you know? Give him another chance. So who
Wasn't
gets
it a case of
stand?
wasn't it a case of him not being able to renew the firearm? I don't think it was a case of him having it and deliberately not going to renew his license.
The law says by the 31st of January.
I
it must be
understand
licensed.
that, but you're not
What's that
listening
mean?
to what I just said. I said, isn't it a case of where he tried to go and renew it, but he couldn't get it renewed? Because I think they went, I don't know the full extent what exactly transpired, but from what
No,
I am
don't
hearing.
think he went, you know, I think what happened, however, the story goes, it was found somewhere else. That's what I think happened, right? So I am saying that matter was resolved, you know, so that he wouldn't have anything against his name, so he would be free to run. Now let us say he ran and he won. Before the matter was tried. What next?
So
we got to, Mr. Grant should learn from that. If he can't control his temper, put water in his mouth or walk away.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have been asking, who owns the bar? Because, you know, people say they keep in function and the same policeman just come and shut down people thing. You don't hear that one, right?
Mm-hmm. But
oh, wait, don't butt me yet.
Go ahead.
So, who owns the bar?
I don't know.
Well, that is what I want to know, because if you were in the bar and you did not own it, then the presentation would have been to the owner. Now, if Mr. Grant intercepted him, then he committed a crime again. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
If they were talking to his son or whoever, and he intervened with those remarks, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I am waiting to hear the whole story. I am waiting, waiting to hear the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to make sure you interview or you go to the courthouse that day to hear the whole story.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, we'll be following together.
Yeah, because you need to come to conclusion now with some evidence. It's not appropriate. So I am sorry for him. I'm sorry for the confusion it has led. I know the expectation. It's politics.
But let me ask you this now. So he has been charged for the offense. Some have said that considering that he has been charged, they believe that he should be suspended from his portfolios. What is your take on that?
I am not sure. Because you usually look at the crime, eh? You had the case in Antigua. Has the man gone back to be a minister?
You mean with the...
Brown.
Yes. He was actually, when the case was live, he was suspended from cabinet, or fired from cabinet, I believe. One or the other.
Yeah, but he did not lose his position.
No, he didn't. The seat is still his.
But that is what I'm saying. But people
hold on.
the seat.
Lord, hold on. So I'm telling you.
Go ahead.
I'm telling you that the minister in Antigua did not give up his seat. He was fired from the cabinet. So he no longer served as the Minister of Education. However, he has since been cleared of any wrongdoing. And he now has, I don't think it's education, but he's now a part of the Antigua cabinet. So I am not asking you if Mr. Grant should give up his seat as the Member of Parliament. Right. I'm not asking you that, though. But I'm not asking you that. I'm not asking it. What I'm asking you is, do you think he should give up his portfolio or should be suspended or whatever as the Minister of Tourism, Transport, Ports, whatever?
Let me answer you this way. There have been leadership matters Tuesday.
I'm not sure.
Because the only person who can answer that is the Prime Minister, you know.
No.
Don't think so?
No. I'm asking you.
What do you think? Let me hear what you think.
No. Don't answer my question with a question. I'm asking you.
Ask me one.
What do you think? Do you think that the Prime Minister, or do you think that the Minister of Tourism should be suspended, considering that he has been charged? Don't tell me go and ask the Prime Minister or somebody else. I'm asking you no. So I'm based on your response. Huh?
Who has the power to discharge him?
I don't know all of that.
Neither me. You want to let me send me? I don't talk from the strength of ignorance, you know. The point is, if it should be done, in fact, the AG might be the best person to put a question to. You know, to find out what exactly the procedure. Because it has never been done here, you know. Mr. Bradshaw turned away one, and I suppose the poor fellow did not know how to fight his case.
All right. Well, we have some other callers trying to get in, so we end this call with you, and we take some more calls.
Anyway, waiting for you to ask the question,
All right. Yes. Thank you so much. Let's hit this other call. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Cornelius.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm all right. I see that we've resolved this matter of whether he apologized or not.
Yes, he has apologized.
He has apologized.
Yeah, he apologized. I must admit that when the clip was playing, I perhaps missed some of it, but when I went back to check, he did apologize.
Yes. The question is, though, he apologized sort of, because how does one apologize for not doing something wrong? You see, you can't have it both ways. Mr. Grant can't have it both ways. He can, on one hand, say he did nothing wrong, but then he's going to apologize. It won't make sense. That's contradictory. All right? And what is even more evident in this case is that it follows a pattern. Now, if we're saying that he exhibits poor judgment and does not have enough discipline to control his temper, well, what kind of role model is that? Right? At some point, people are going to have to ask themselves, is this the kind of representative I should have? And even worse, he has been in trouble before. You remember, this is his third infraction, so to speak, you know. Because remember, there was the Marriott issue that he lost the leadership of the PAM party over. And then there was the misappropriation case. Well, you know, normally, if you go before a judge, he looks at your record and he sees no previous, well, he saw good behavior in the past, he might be inclined to let you off with a tap on the wrist. But when you have this kind of pattern, I don't think the judge or magistrate or whoever should treat the matter lightly. And it should also be an issue for the Integrity Commission, because this is not the kind of people that we want in public office. You know, he can ignore the issue all he wants and say, well, look at my accomplishments in other areas, in tourism, etc. The tourist ships came before Mr. Grant was minister, and they will come after. They're not coming simply because of Mr. Grant. Okay? So I don't, that is no excuse for the kind of behavior that he exhibits. Okay?
Right.
You know, and one more thing with regards to the party. Before, like I said, at the Marriott issue, he was censured by the party. Well, it's strange that this time around that they're prepared to stand fully behind him. You know, and we wonder what it is that Mr. Grant have over the rest of them, that they're prepared to go down and join with him as opposed to cutting him loose from the slate of candidates. You know, you have to wonder.
Before you go,
Okay.
But before you go, he has been charged. Do you think that he should be suspended or fired from cabinet?
He should have voluntarily stepped down from cabinet. You can't be. These matters, I'm sure, will be discussed in cabinet. You can't be part of a cabinet discussing these matters about you. What sense does that make? In a real democracy, he would have been out of there a long time. Okay? But at least we all know the politics involved here. It's a coalition government. Everybody is walking on thin ice. Okay? And yes, everybody can appreciate that. Okay? But in the final analysis, it is what we are prepared to tolerate in our country. If everything goes,
all right.
Or if anything goes, everything goes. You know, so we have to have standards. And Mr. Grant's behavior and his past record in public office is not the standard we should be accepting in 2022. Okay.
This is the end of Voices here on WINNFM 98.9. It's 1:30. And so we have come to the end of this program. Let me say thank you so much for your contribution and participation in this program. Of course, without you, it would not have been possible. Stay tuned to WINNFM 98.9. We have coming up next, Working for You. And of course, at 3 p.m., we have Conscious Business with DJ Coffee. And of course, the daily sports and news at 6 p.m. Stick and Stay. You're listening to WINNFM 98.9. This has been another edition of Voices for Wednesday, March 9, 2022. Until next time, you guys take care, stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands. Please don't drink and drive, wear your seatbelt. I've been your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Take care.
You found the sound 98.9.
Get your property properly covered today. Constructing your dream house or considering renovating your property? We will make sure your property is properly covered.